Hello, writers. Come write with me. My name is Mykela Greenwood. I create worlds for mind adventures. Welcome to my channel, Write with Mykela. I'm so excited to have you join me on my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you can go on this journey with me. Today we're going to discuss some terms or ideas, and then we will add to a down soldier. The first word that we are looking at today is dapper. Dapper means neat and trim in dress and appearance, typically used of a man. Some synonyms are smart, spruce, trim, debonair, neat, tidy, crisp, well-dressed, besuited, well-groomed, elegant, chic, dashing, and several more. This is a character description for a male character. This is not necessarily handsome, although a gentleman could be handsome and dapper. Handsome is more for looks, while dapper is more for attire or well-groomed. Like the beard is trimmed just right or it's shaved, and the hair is clean and combed and so on. Think of a man in a tuxedo or a nice suit. Okay? As writers, we need to describe our characters to our readers to give them some eye candy so they can visualize it. This doesn't have to describe our protagonist or someone on the protagonist's side. This could be your antagonist. In real life, the bad guys don't look a certain way. Now, certainly some gang members have identifying tattoos, like the teardrops. You know, the tear is however many people they killed or something like that. At least that's what I've heard. I don't know. I haven't interviewed them. You know, they have the different things. The MS-13 has a different tattoo, and so they have identifying tattoos. So the cops can say, okay, that tattoo is normally this gang. You know, MS-13, Trinde de Arago, or whatever other gangs there are. The cops know those identifying tattoos. But not all bad people belong in gangs. Looks can deceive. We have a saying, don't judge a book by its cover. This saying applies here. Some criminals are smooth and dapper, and that's how they lure their victims. On MASH, before they went on dates, some of the men would clean up and dress up. They were dapper. In Happy Days, Fonzie thought he was dapper. He had his old slicked hair, his leather jacket. I think he turned up the collar. Maybe he wasn't the one that did that, but you know, he had his leather jacket, and you just thought he was, you know, God's gift to women. At least the character portrayed that. Now, personally, I think of dapper. When I think dapper, I think men as older. Okay? That's my perception. The definition doesn't say that. Like I said, that's my perception. An older gentleman, salt and pepper hair, nice pinstripe suit. You know, that's my perception. It could be a younger man like Fonzie. Or it could be, you know, army age men like in MASH or whatever. Leave a comment on a character in a show, book, or movie who was dapper. Our next term is indelible. The first definition of indelible means of ink or pen or something similar, making marks that cannot be removed. Synonyms for this definition are irredactable, I can't say this word. Ineradicable. There we go. Ineradicable, ineffaceable, indestructible, or permanent. The second definition is not able to be forgotten. So synonyms for this definition are exactly the same, which is good because I couldn't pronounce the one word. Even though I had the phonetic spelling in the script, I just still couldn't pronounce it. But we can have fun with this, right? We can have fun with this where the mark can't be removed or the scene or the story can't be forgotten. Something can't be forgotten. We can have fun with this. Think of the Black Pearl. Or when Captain Jack had the black spot on his, I don't remember which hand it was on, but he had the black spot and he wrapped the handkerchief around it or the rag around it. He could not erase or remove the spot. The spot was indelible. Now, I don't think they use that term, but that was the concept. He could not remove that spot. There was, what can I do? What can I do? In our stories, we could have a similar spot that was not seen, but felt. Maybe you couldn't see the black spot, but there was a pain there or maybe you could see it under a certain light, like infrared light or the black light, or maybe you could see it under a certain light. You can have fun with it. It says it can't be removed, but it doesn't say it has to be seen, right? Ink or pen or something similar. So usually when we think of ink, you can think of the tattoo ink. You can think of regular ink, inkwell. So it's something that can't be removed. And in the Black Pearl, the black spot could not be removed. It doesn't have to be black. It could be blue. It could be red. Whatever. It could be just something that cannot be removed. And when I'm saying not seen, yes, I am stretching the definition a bit. We are wordsmiths. That's what we do. We can take it and just stretch it. We could take the idea of indelible and then we can say, okay, it's a spot within, or it's a spot that the naked eye can't see, that only a spell can see, and stuff. And I have that kind of concept in Tristan. She has a mark on her, and I think they had to put a substance on it to undo the magic or whatever to reveal the mark on her ankle or heel or something. I have to go back and read that story. Anyway, I haven't read that one to y'all yet. Maybe we'll do that one someday. Now, as for the second definition, one character could tell a story that was indelible to the rest of the characters, meaning they could not forget the story. They could not get the story out of their minds. In the story we're writing today, the initial battle scene where the soldier woke up after the battle would be an indelible memory for that soldier. So long as the soldier didn't block the memory. We have that concept too. Some people just block memories and they're not going to look at it. They're not going to see it. But other characters, they see it and they can't forget it. It's just right there. Okay, so we have that kind of thing. In real life, war can and does leave indelible impressions on the minds of the soldiers. And that is one reason for PTSD. At least in my mind, that would be a reason for PTSD. If you went through something very traumatic or very harrowing, then you didn't block it. You weren't able to block it. You just remembered it. Then that would be a reason for the PTSD. I think. I'm not a psychologist. So, as a writer, that's what I think. Now, leave a comment on something that happened to you in your life that you will never be able to forget. I was in a car accident when I was 12. It was after midnight, so Christmas Day was hours before Christmas Day, and then after midnight. So it was hours before. I was in the truck with my stepmother, and I woke up with the headlights of another car feet in front of us. I guess, of course, you have the hood of the truck and then whatever. So I don't know how far, but it seemed like feet. As you wake up and you see these two lights coming at you. And my stepmother was driving on the wrong side of the road. And that was something I learned in the hospital later. It was so dark. It was country road. There were no street lights here and there or whatever. So you wake up, it's dark all along, and then you see these two headlights coming at you. I will never forget those lights. And my stepmother did die during that, and the people in the other car were severely injured. I remember the lights. Now, let's turn to your stories with a down soldier. And Kamek did have some indelible memories. Like, at first he couldn't remember the battle, but once, I think it was after Moss was talking about necromancy, then scenes of the battle started going through his mind. So, let's write on this. First, remember that all works shared on the channel are copyright protected, so there's no worry. Send in your writings to writewithmykela@gmail.com. So, writewithmykela, no spaces, @gmail.com. I look forward to reading your stories on the channel. We've written on this. Oh, that says 17 times. That's not right. This is not right. We've written on this 21 times. We started this story in season 3.1, episode 11. I will list the rest of the episodes in the details below. If you remember back, the first writing prompt was to imagine a soldier that came to after a big battle, and then we went from there. We do not have a shared plot for this, but I hope you are having fun. I hope you have an intriguing protagonist, an active goal or problem, and you have stakes of some kind and a ticking clock. And all of that is interrelated and building to your climax. These are the elements to a good story, along with some good editing. First draft is not a final draft. I don't know where you went with your story, but maybe a soldier woke up and he couldn't remember what happened, but he sees the devastation. So in his story, he's looking to find the facts of what happened. And I just thought of this while I was talking to you. What if he was looking to find the facts? And as he was investigating, well, this happened before there, this commander said that, then maybe some of those memories come to the surface and become indelible for him. And he's starting to put things together. And maybe the ticking clock is that he has to put it all together and figure out what went wrong before some of his fellow soldiers go through the same thing. That would be a very intriguing story. And if you had a soldier that was in the army before and they knew all the politics of the military and who got what information, who didn't, that could be a really intriguing story. So if you are that person writing that, please send that to me. I would love to read it. Now, for the rest of us, pause the video. Write a page or chew at least a paragraph. A lot of writers aim for 500 words a day. So see if you can use this writing prompt to meet your own personal writing goal. And come back. And I'll read what I wrote. Welcome back, writers. Now let me read what I wrote. Kamek was walking beside Maltz, but he started stumbling. Maltz turned to him. Let's clean those wounds. You've lost too much blood. Kamek half sat and half fell to the ground. They didn't have their armor. They had left that on the battlefield and were in too much shock to get more. At least they had their swords. Kamek's shirt was torn in several places, so Maltz took a knife and cut off the sleeves. He used the sleeves and some thin vines to bind up the worst wounds. Maltz finished and sat beside Kamek. Kamek, what are we going to do at the city? Kamek tried to think of what to say. That lady said Sarla was drawn in and would be queen or empress or something. I don't remember. But you and I know she can't be that. She's too young. Moss looked at Kamek. Kamek didn't respond. He thought of the book he had and the amulet he had, but he didn't know why he had them. His father had given them to him, told him one day he would understand, but if he didn't understand, then pass the book and amulet down to Kipling. Kamek had not wanted to burden his son, so he tried reading the book. A traveling band came through, and he procured the glass that helped him actually read the book, but he still didn't understand. Now, of course, he knew more. Still, it was not something he wanted to place on Kipley's shoulders. Maybe you could be king, stated Moss. Kamek looked at Moss with wide eyes. I'm not king material. Who, then? Asked Moss. Me? That's not possible. Burdock? Poor man doesn't rule anything. It's you, Kamek. You are the one. Kamek sighed. I'll back you all the way. Kamek patted Moss's arms, even though it hurt to do that movement. I know you are always there for me. Kamek stood up. Come, we have to find the city. There is no king of the woods. They both stood up and continued. After a little way, Kamek deliberately veered away from the footprints. Moss mentioned going to the wagon, but Kamek told him the footprints went in a circle. Moss didn't protest anymore. Vic and Thace was walking behind the children with Lillian. The goat pulled occasionally, but not nearly as much. Vic and Thace relaxed as Sartla pointed out a red bird and a beautiful butterfly. Oh, look, said Sartla. There's a stone man. She ran towards the statue. Kipling ran after her. Slow down. We don't know these woods. Sartla got to the statue and put down the rabbit. She grabbed some vines and pulled. Help me get the vines off. Said Kipling. He glanced back at Vic and Thace. She slightly nodded her head, so Kipling agreed and helped. Jules also helped. Why is it green in some places? It probably needs to be washed, said Lillian. Oh, I hope this means we're near the city. Kipling looked around. There's another one. He ran to the next one and pulled off what vines he could. Some vines were too thick, and he couldn't remove them. Vic and Thace observed that several statues had weapons carved in the stones. Most seemed to have a bow and arrow. Even quivers were carved on their backs. After they passed several, she started seeing swords instead of bows and arrows. Vic and Thace noticed an area where there seemed to be more sun. Look, she said as she pointed. Maybe that is the city. They heard a yell. The group turned to look behind themselves, and a man was running towards them with his hands waving. He was yelling. As the man passed them, Vic and Thace called out, Burdock! Stop! It's us! What's chasing him? Asked Jules. Vic and Thace glanced back. I don't know. Maybe we should run after him, said Kipling. I don't think I can get the goat to run, said Lillian. Kipling ran over and took the rope. He looked at Sartla. Scoop up your rabbit and run into the city. After Sartla took off with her rabbit, Kipling followed behind her, and the goat didn't give him any trouble. Jules looked at the ladies. Vic and Thace motioned. Go ahead. We'll be there as soon as we can. She turned to Lillian. Don't worry, I won't leave you. The ladies walked as fast as they could, and soon they were out of the woods. Both turned full circle and took in the stone city, complete with stone buildings and stone guards. Vic and Thace didn't immediately see Burdock, but she saw Kipling resting his hands on his knees and breathing heavily. Jules was the same. Sartla was sitting down and resting. Vic and Thace looked around again, and she had the distinct feeling that there were eyes watching her. She looked up in the windows. She was relieved that she didn't see any people. Suddenly, she hoped This was not another city for the lizard people. Okay, writers, that is what I'm adding today. The word count was a little over 800 words. Leave a comment on the statues. What do you think about them? Leave a comment on Burdock running past them. Do you think he saw another bear, or is he delusional at this point? Remember that he doesn't have a water sack, so he could be a little delusional. Leave a comment on the city. Did they find the right city? Or is this another city for the lizard people? How do they know which city? Leave a comment on what genre you're writing this writing prompt in. Is it fantasy like mine? Is it historical fiction? Is it military fiction? Or what? Every answer is great. I want to know. Join me Friday for Princess of Norwin and Steigergard. Join me Tuesday for a little jargon and adding to your story with a setting. Leave a comment below on which story is your favorite so far. It could be your favorite that you are writing, or your favorite on the channel, or favorite you have read. Also, leave a comment on what you are currently reading. I am currently reading Forever Fluent by Gabriel Weiner. Is not a fantasy book or a storybook. It's a book on how to learn a language. Writing is a passion for me. I love writing. But also learning languages is a passion. And Gabriel is telling things to do. Yet first, learn the pronunciation of the language. Was I think step 1 that he said. Learn the pronunciation. All the letters and characters in the alphabet, learn how they are pronounced. Step 1. Step 2, get a frequency dictionary and learn the words that are most frequent in that language that you're trying to learn. So, and I got the one for Japanese, and the Japanese word that was most frequent was no, which is just a particle, basically, and it means in, at, on, and several other things. So you can see how that would be very common word in the box, on the table, at the bar, whatever. So that one is the most frequent in Japanese, and I'll have to figure out some most frequent words. So I am very passionate about learning languages and about writing. So leave a comment on one of your passions. Leave a comment on if you recommend a book or author. Also, have you read any classics that you would recommend? I have this classic here. I haven't read it yet. I do want to read it. I have thought about, I haven't decided. I've thought about reading that book and then summarizing, because I don't have permission to read on the channel, but I can summarize the chapters. And I thought about starting that when we start year 3 of the channel. I don't know. We'll see how I'm able to juggle everything. So, but if there are any classics that you recommend that, and maybe I'll start with one of those. Silence of the Lamb, Lord of the Flies, the great, what is it? The Giver. That one I have already read. Of Mice and Men, Flowers for Algernon, any of those. Or if it's just the storybook, like, I know at one point my mom read Heidi to us as kids. That was a good book. So just if you have a book that you want to recommend, doesn't have to be a classic, just let me know. And I will see if I can put it in my book list. Don't forget to visit my website by Mykela.com, read some character bios, send your writings to writewithmykela@gmail.com, no spaces, and leave comments on your favorite characters. If you hit like and subscribe and the bell notification, then we will continue to write together, and other people will have a higher chance of finding this video and this channel. And your likes will push the video out to a greater audience. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate your participation. If you know someone who would like this video, please share it with them. This is Mykela with Write with Mykela. Bye for now.